Sadly, I would say that America, at its kernel, is the best country on the planet. I agree with, was it Will Rogers who said, democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others. And I think that, America, I've been around the world. I mean, I made that a goal when I was young. I traveled when I was a kid, and knock wood and the blessing I've had with my writing, I have had a chance to see, not all of it, and I think people who really travel a lot will be the first ones to tell you I haven't seen anything. But I have been to dozens and dozens and dozens of countries, and this is by far, idealistic, the best. But we get so lost because of the blessings that we have here. We have so much. And when I go down to Haiti, I'm involved in an orphanage down in Haiti, and I go every month. And I see on an airplane, I get on an airplane in Miami Beach, Miami, where indulgence is a daily pastime. And an hour and a half later, I'm driving into this mission where a bowl of rice is considered a big deal. We have parents coming and uncles and aunts out of the earthquake and just giving us their children, and saying, Jeff, please take the child. I said, why are you giving me your child? You can feed this child, you can educate this child, I can't. And you go, I'm an hour and a half from Miami, and this is going on. And so I think we're a country that has lost its way in our own indulgence. And we entertain ourselves to death. We clip ourselves to death. We watch way too much TV. We listen to way too many pundits, myself included. If everybody agreed to quit talking on the radio, I'd lead the charge, because there's too much talk. And if I have any guilt about my job, it's that, why are you talking so much? There's so much talk already in the world. And I go through that a lot, even as I'm talking, you justify it by, you say, well, I'm the one making sense, so I'll keep talking. But everybody must say that about themselves, I'm sure. And we get so angry. And you want to look and say, what are we so angry about? We have it so good here. All you got to do is give a little bit of your time to other people, and everything would take care of itself. And yet we don't even want to give a smidgen. I do work with the homeless a lot in Detroit. I can't believe how many people walk past homeless people and don't even think about it. It's like, get a job, you bum. And I don't understand that kind of thing. And so I think America has I'm a big believer in the best in people. I never think it's too late. I never think people can't change, and I never think a country can't change. But I do think we're being steered by some very powerful influences who really just care about money and mind their own pockets. The more things become corporate, international corporation owned, and less mom and pop, less Traverse City and more New York City, the worse off this country becomes, because we're just digits, we're just numbers. And it's even that way in the book. You know it. I mean, they tell you in the book as well, how many units did you move? I said, units? I always think of units as, well, I don't want to say what it first comes to mind. Secondly is like fingers and toes, Units, those are digits, Yeah, well, I can't say what the unit thing is. But, why should that matter? But it does. It's even like movies. Now we take it for granted. My dad, I was so broken out when my dad started getting into this. My dad's the greatest guy on earth. By the way, I want to say this for the record. As soon as I was Maury, the father was an ass. Okay, he ignored Maury and everything. 5 People Meet in Heaven, Eddie's father beat him and abused him, was terrible to him. For one more day, the husband of the woman who's my mother, who's a saint, he has another family that he's keeping and hiding, and he's this evil guy and all the rest of it. And after that book came out, my father came up to me and he said, do we need to talk about something? And I said, no, Pop, just give me another book and I promise. So if you open up, have a little faith, you will see that the dedication, because after that he made that point to me about for one more day, and other people started saying, well, this is based on your mother, right? I said, yes. So your father? I said, no, it's a fiction, it's fiction. But I dedicate this book to my father, and if I can find the page, because I don't want to get it wrong. Finally, a book for my father, Ira album, in whom I have always believed, and because it was a book about faith and believing. So he is a good guy. But he said to me a couple of years ago, he said, did you see the paper? Hey, I said, yeah. He said, did you see that Iron Man had the biggest gross of the weekend. I said, what do you care about that for? I said, well, it's in the news, you know, it was #1. They made 72 million. And I'm thinking, when did that start to become how we evaluated film? You know, it just became, and now it is. That's how we judge it. I would hate that, you know, well, we do it in our business. If we're #1 on the bestsellers list, #4 on the bestsellers list. Everything, if it's not successful, if you don't win, oh, too bad for you. We feel sorry for you. Well, some of the greatest films never going to make that list. And yet that's what we talk about Monday morning. Guess who won the box office? As if that's all that matters. So I think there's a lot of that going on in America. And I guess I try to write books that celebrate some of the better parts of human nature that aren't about that. And if I can still find them. And I guess if I was trying to do anything with my book writing, it's to try to, you know, hit the drumbeat a little bit of the soul that I still believe America has and Americans have underneath all that. It just takes a while to